from Shine Bright Diamonds 2023, and I'm coming to you today with another one of my WIP'n chats. And this time we're going to be catching up because it's been a whirlwind of a time in my life, and I'm really excited to share with you all sort of my traveling adventures from the past, I guess, week and a half. So for those of you that are new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. And those of you that are returning, hello, hello. I think you know what to expect. So if this is your first WIP'n chat, WIP stands for Work in Progress. And this is where I'll be working on my diamond painting canvas and just sharing with you some life updates. So feel free to pull out your canvas if you want, or if you want to treat this like a podcast, it's up to you. But I'm just happy you're here. The kit that I'm working on is this one here. It's Year of the Dragon by Christina Six Leaf Clover Yen, and it is from Diamond Art Club. So this kit, it's 31 colors, and I started it on June 23rd. It is, at the day of filming, Tuesday, August 13th, and I want to say that I've started the row that marks just over 50% done. Yeah, this kit's taking me a little bit of a long time, but I am enjoying it, so that's what counts, right? The tools that I'll be using today, so what you're seeing here is the release papers. These release papers are from Bee's Crafty Corner, and that is a diamond painting. I have like putty on my release paper, love it. And that is a release paper coming from Ontario, Canada, a small shop in Canada. The tools that I'll be using, so I do have my Yellow Dog Designs tray. You'll see me using the narrow tray, and of course one of their purple regular size trays. I think this is from their stained glass collection. I can't 100% remember. But those are the two trays that I'll be using. In terms of the pens, I have this beautiful pen coming from Bistro Exclusives that I had purchased from a D-Stash. I have this mini pen from Creations Dobel. This one I often use for the straightening, because those of you that have been visiting my channel for a while, you know I tend to not place things the straightest. And then I have my trusty palm placer from Creations Morin, another small shop in Canada. This I use to place AB drills. In terms of the putty, I feel like I use a lot of stuff when I'm diamond painting. I don't know, maybe you're the same as me, let me know. But I have putty coming from Creations Morin, and in here what is this from? Yep, Yellow Dog Designs. I just have a little bit of beeswax from Dream Wax Studios, another small shop in Canada. This I use for my ABs. So I think that's all the tools. Please let me know if you're someone who uses a ton of tools like me. Just have stuff everywhere. So we're gonna slowly work on this. I started this section and I'm slowly making my way through it. So there's, you know, a little bit here, and maybe we'll open up this part here. I don't know. But this is what I'm working on. I feel like I haven't diamond painted in like, I want to say almost 2 weeks. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been a little bit hard getting back into it. I think I forgot how to place drills because everything's been so crooked. Now that things are sort of more in, it's a lot easier to place, although I do have a lot of popping drills, so you're gonna see me use this quite a bit to press. I don't know why, I always use the single tip to press things down and then my straightener to straighten things out. So yeah, how are you? What's new? I know I've been like MIA for like I said, maybe a week and a half or so, but it's been crazy here. Absolutely crazy. I sort of did like back-to-back trips. I think my last WIP'n chat, I had literally just come back from a shopping trip to the States, and then I think I was home for 48 hours, and in those 48 hours I was packing and getting ready to go on a cruise, which, let me tell you, was a lot of fun. but man, am I exhausted. um, my boyfriend and I, we went with a group of friends, and we cruised for about 6 days in the Caribbean on a Carnival cruise ship, and it was a lot of fun. We hit, what ports did we go to again? We went to Grand Turk in Turks and Caicos, Amber Cove in the Dominican, and Nassau, Bahamas, which I've been in Nassau, Bahamas before, so that was really nice, you know, to go back. But the cruise was a lot of fun. We did have some issues with our flight, which is always a joyful time, but overall it was a lot of fun. But I feel like I need a vacation from a vacation. Please let me know if you're like that too. I think because with cruises, like if you've never been on one before, it's a lot of go, go, go. Because there's just so much to do and you want to see everything, and there's like so much food, and then with the ports of call you have like your excursions, and then there's early mornings, but then there's late night shows on the cruise ship. So it's been fun, but I'm not gonna lie, it's taken me a while to recover, because we flew in to our cruise started in Miami, Florida. So we're coming from Toronto, and essentially we flew in to Miami on Saturday, August 3rd, but I guess there was like really bad weather in Miami, so I don't know what was going on, because to be honest, I'm a nervous flyer. I also get motion sickness, so I was just sort of like, the sooner this plane lands, the better type of situation. I don't know what that is on my canvas. There we go. So long story short, there was, you know, bad weather in Miami, and we were told we can't land in Miami. So I guess our pilot was like circling and circling, and then eventually we ran out of fuel. So they were like, we need to make an emergency stop, and we're landing in Orlando, Florida. We're gonna get some fuel, and then we'll just have to wait for the all clear to land in Florida or Miami. And we were like, oh, okay. So anyway, we ended up in Orlando, but they wouldn't let us off the plane. So we sat on the tarmac for like almost 90 minutes in the plane, waiting to essentially get the okay to go to Miami. Eventually we did get the okay, and then when we got there, we found out that it was because there was like really bad rain happening, and what had essentially, it was like a cyclone or something that eventually turned into, I guess, Hurricane Debbie. So that was, let me see, just pull this down so you can see what I'm working on. There you go. So that was sort of the start of our trip, but then we boarded our ship on Sunday, August 4th, and we were supposed to sort of leave Miami by around 4 o'clock. So they were like getting us all hyped up with the sail away party, only for the captain of the ship to come on and say, we're not leaving port. We'll let you know when. We ended up not leaving Miami port, like sailing away, until almost after 9 o'clock at night. So again, I guess it was bad weather, which is okay. You know what? We still got where we need to go. The first day we were at sea, so that was really nice. We just, you know, spent the day exploring the ship, checking out the pools, the shows, you know, getting settled. So I like that the first day was at sea. But the second day, we had our first excursion in Grand Turk, where our group, we did a catamaran tour. I have too many drills here. And so essentially we were on a catamaran to go snorkeling, and then it took us to like this private beach. And that was fun because I've never been to Turks and Caicos, and it's so beautiful. It is like, the water is crystal clear. It was beautiful. Like for me, like I love swimming. I also just love anything with the beach, probably why I am obsessed with The Little Mermaid. And I also love fish. So for those of you that don't know, I grew up with pet fish. And like, for whatever reason, betta fish I have a really soft spot in my heart for betta fish. So I've always had betta fish. So off to my left is Little Midnight. He's actually out and swimming. He's like watching what I'm doing right now. So for me, snorkeling was absolutely fun, and it was cool. Like, we saw some fish, so that was really nice. But like the beach, like I could have stayed at that beach all day. But the excursion was only 3 hours. So, you know, they eventually take you back to your port, and we had time to explore. I somehow found another beach in Grand Turk near the cruise ship, so I was just like hanging out there. That was, I think for me, it's just the beach. Just leave me on the beach. I will be the happiest person. Even like going to the beach here in Canada, it's nice. Like, my boyfriend's not a huge beach person, but he recognizes how much I love the beach. So we try and do, like, in Ontario at least, a day trip here and there to a beach when we can, in the summer. But anyway, so Grand Turk, super lovely. Made it on the ship, you know, got ready for dinner. Food, oh my goodness. I think we ate so much food on the trip. That's the only thing, because like food on the cruise ship is all inclusive. So you're just sort of eating nonstop. So yeah, that was just all the food, especially the tacos. I was living my best life. They had like a fish taco, like, I don't know if you call it like a pavilion or an area. Why is this drill not going in? But yeah, so fish tacos was my thing. But anyway, so the Monday we were at sea. Tuesday we were in Grand Turk. But then on Wednesday we were in another port, so back port, so back early mornings, which was hard because like they do a lot of night shows, so you want to see, you know, the comedy, or if they're doing like a musical based play or show. And for me, like, I really like theater too, so I just wanted to see all the theater shows. But it's hard because, you know, some of them start at like 9 and then they repeat again at like 10 if you miss the 9 o'clock one. So, you know, anyway, so Wednesday we ended up in Amber Cove in the Dominican, and for that day we decided to do an excursion where you could just stay at an all-inclusive hotel for the day, or resort. So we caught the shuttle with our tour group and we just hung out at a resort in the Dominican for the day, which was nice because we were just hanging out, you know, at a pool, having some, you know, happy hour drinks. They had like a beach barbecue, so that was really nice because, you know, I like trying new food, so the beach barbecue was really cool. It was pretty much just like rice, barbecue, like corn, and then like the chicken, and like they had like some steak and stuff, so that was pretty nice. And then, you know, in the Dominican, you have to go shopping. So when we made it back from our excursion, there's like little shops set up outside. So we did like a little shopping. I have this thing where I like to collect shot glasses. So I did get a shot glass in Grand Turk, and I did get one in the Dominican. Forgot to get one when I was in Miami because that was the first time I was in Miami, but that's okay. Made it on the ship, but we were exhausted. So Thursday was like a day at sea, which was nice. It was a recovery day. We all took it super easy. And then Thursday night, my boyfriend and I got a notice at our cabin door on the ship saying that our Friday excursion in Nassau has been canceled and that we were refunded. And our Friday excursion I was really looking forward to because it was snorkeling, and we were supposed to go see like a sea turtle sanctuary. And I've always wanted to see a sea turtle. And I also, like, I've been snorkeling in Nassau or in the Bahamas before, and snorkeling in the Bahamas is absolutely phenomenal because the coral reef there, I find, like, it's really well taken care of, and there's just like a lot of fish to see. And the one time I had been in Nassau snorkeling, I was able to see like a small like stingray in the coral, and that was just like, what is happening? So I was really disappointed that our excursion, was canceled. They said it was due to technical difficulties, which it happens. So the cruise line had provided us with an alternative excursion and a discount for that excursion. And the alternative excursion was to go to a little private island, do snorkeling, have an iguana experience or encounter, have some like traditional like food, like lunch, and then spend the rest of the day at the beach on this little private island. So at that point, my boyfriend didn't want to do it, which was fine. So I told him, like, I really want to do it. And he said, okay, like, go for it. So it was like 12 a.m. and we're at guest services because we had gone to a late night comedy show. And we're at guest services booking this excursion for me. Like, God bless his soul. And I don't know where that Cheryl's going. There we go. And long story short, I just realized you couldn't see anything that I'm doing. I am so sorry. I'm like really into talking, and let me move that up. There. There you go. Okay, so it's 12 a.m. I need to be up for 6 something to be, with the tour group by 8:30. So the excursion's been booked. Friday morning, my boyfriend walks me to the excursion. He sees me off. I end up on this 30-minute boat ride to this island. And as we're getting there, the sky is getting darker and darker. Long story short, I ended up on this little island with a group of people from our cruise ship, only for us to be pelted by a heavy rainstorm with thunder and lightning, and being told it's not safe to go in the water for snorkeling. We ended up in a wallless, just like a shelter with no walls, trying to be protected from this rain. It was wild. And all the while, my boyfriend is on the cruise ship, safe, probably, living his best life, and I'm just out in the elements. But, I mean, the rain passed. We waited maybe 20 minutes. They did get us in the water. It was a very quick sort of undersea snorkeling excursion because there was the threat of, more thunder and lightning. And their rule is that if there's lightning, you cannot be in the water, which is fair. So we did a quick excursion of the snorkeling. Absolutely cool. I saw tons of fish. There was I guess in the area that we went snorkeling, they are sort of adding extra things to the coral so that fish have, a place to go. Because, there has been in all parts of the world, damage done to our coral reefs. So they had a sunken shipwreck that I guess they had added or were trying or working towards adding coral to. So the fish were going in and out of this little shipwreck, and there was these yellow fish, and there were blue fish, and there was fish with stripes. It was just so cool. After that, we had our iguana excursion or iguana moment, which was interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little scared. I tried to feed an iguana because they had put veggies on skewers for us. So there was apple and, sorry, I can't open these with my nails. So there was apple and lettuce on skewers, and we were supposed to feed them. I tried to feed the iguana, Rico. He wasn't having it. He just wouldn't eat at all from me, but he ate for everyone else. I was like, great, love it. You clearly don't like me. But that was great. Cool. Iguanas are cool, I'm not gonna lie. They're vegetarian, but man, do they have claws. And then after that, it threatened rain, and I was like, you know what, I better get my lunch because there is no shelter, and I do not want to eat my lunch with it getting blown away by that wind and all wet. So I ended up getting my lunch, which was chicken, peas and rice, coleslaw, and then fish. And it was absolutely phenomenal. Loved it. It did end up raining again, but it wasn't like a heavy duty rain, so it was manageable. And then the rest of the excursion, we just sort of, you know, had time to just go on the beach. So I just sort of hung out on the beach. I didn't go back in the water just because it was like I could hear thunder in the distance. And even the lifeguards were sort of like, if there's lightning, we'll say don't go in, but I don't know. I just didn't trust it. So, and I choose life over death. So I was like, I'm not going to go do this. But we made it back, like a 30-minute boat ride back to the cruise ship. Unfortunately, they dropped us off not at the same spot that they picked us up. So my boyfriend had no idea where I was. I ended up going into the straw market, which I guess is a pretty popular vendor flea market type place. So that was a lot of fun. It was definitely outside of sort of the designated tourist area. But I did eventually make it back to the tourist pavilion, met with my boyfriend, showed him all the cool things that I found. I may have come home with a like hand carved shell that I'm pretty sure I was like swindled into buying, but I was like, it's so pretty. And then after that, we, you know, got ready for dinner Friday night. And unfortunately, this is where the trip went really downhill and probably why it's taken me so long to sort of actually sit down and film this. But Friday night at dinner, and this would have been August 9th, I started to not feel well. And I, like I had mentioned earlier, am sensitive. I do get motion sickness. So I thought, you know, maybe it was a combination of, you know, the boat rocking from the storm because the water was, you know, rocky. And maybe, you know, just a little too much air. There wasn't a whole lot of sun. It was pretty cloudy. So I'm like, I didn't really get sun, but, you know. So I tried to make my way through dinner. I ate, you know, what I could. We went to another comedy show. The comedy shows on the ship were absolutely amazing. We saw one of the sort of like more artsy performances, so that was really cool. And then at around like 10:30 at night, I got sick. Listen, I don't know what happened. We'll just say that I was sick, probably with some type of food poisoning / traveler's diarrhea. I don't know what happened. Unfortunately, my suitcase was already checked because they kick you out of the room at 8:30 in the morning on the day that they arrived in Miami. So they had already taken my suitcase. I didn't think to keep with me my Gravel or Tylenol. I had nothing. I just had motion sickness pills. Luckily, one of our friends had Tums. I learned that in the States, they do not have Gravel. So that sucked. It was a rough night. That's all I will say. I will not go into graphic details, but I was just extremely sick. My boyfriend was a trooper. He tried to sleep because one of us needed to be sane to get us to the airport. Pretty much, I kept it together. I don't know how I got off of the ship without having to run to the washroom. We got to the airport in Miami right away. Like, I think we were off the ship at like 9:30 Saturday morning. Made it to the airport probably around 10, got through customs, and found our gate at maybe 10:30. And our flight wasn't until 9:40 at night, only for it to get delayed till 11:30 p.m. So I was sick in the airport all day Saturday. I did find Pepto-Bismol. I don't know how much Pepto-Bismol I consumed. I ended up at a Starbucks. I found out that Starbucks does not have peppermint tea, so I don't even know what type of tea I ended up getting. I was just trying to settle myself for the flight. I bought a banana at Starbucks. I didn't know if that could work because at that point there was nothing in my system because everything had essentially been expelled Friday night. It was rough. I'm not gonna lie. So our flight was delayed. We didn't get to Toronto until like 3:30 Sunday morning. So that was on Sunday, August 11th. By the time we made it home, because we are, a little bit of a drive from Toronto. So by the time we got home and settled, it was 5 a.m. Sunday morning. I went to bed at 5 a.m. I didn't wake up till 1 p.m. on Sunday. And essentially, I have been living off of Gatorade, saltine crackers, and for some unknown reason, peaches since pretty much Monday. But then my birthday was back in July, and for my birthday, my boyfriend had gotten me tickets to the Avril Lavigne Greatest Hits tour in Toronto. So last night, oh my goodness, this is where it gets more wild. So Sunday was recovering. I hadn't had solid food. Monday, I was just like, oh gosh, we got to get to this concert. I was slowly introducing more and more solid foods, like whatever it was that went through my system. It was clearly out of my system pretty much by Sunday afternoon. But the problem was that I didn't feel ready to try and eat food. So we were like trying to just get me to eat something. Monday was the first day that I was successful in eating somewhat of a normal, I guess, meal, because I was able to eat a bagel Monday. And of course, like peaches, because peaches were on sale this week at the grocery store. My boyfriend did groceries Sunday. But we ended up at the Avril Lavigne concert last night, which was Monday. Absolutely amazing. Took me back to like my childhood and youth. Love her. Concert was phenomenal. Made it home, and here I am, Tuesday, August 13th, filming this WIP'n chat. It's been a whirlwind, folks, but this is what I've been up to. I really like to just sort of be at home doing my crafting, reading. I like to see my friends, but like even when I see my friends, like we never do anything crazy. Like we're always just like, let's just grab a movie. Okay, movie's done, bye. So for me, this past little bit has been a lot. So I'm definitely taking it easy. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you have any crazy travel stories, because that was wild. I've never been so ill on a vacation outside of Canada before. Is all the food that I probably ate and whatever triggered me worth it? 100%. But I do not recommend spending a day sick in the airport. Yeah, but I just like was trying to keep it together, because my biggest fear was that I wouldn't be allowed like on the plane or off the ship. But like for me, like once everything was out of my system, I just felt so tired and shaky. That was the thing. Like I just needed rest, and that was it. But yeah, let me know if you have any crazy travel stories. I don't know. Would I go on a cruise again? Absolutely. It's a lot of fun, but it is definitely not a relaxing vacation, in my opinion, just because you're so go, go, go. But yeah. So, where are we now? So, pretty much for me, this is, in my head, my last week of my summer vacation. So, for those of you that don't know, I am a teacher. And typically for me, with how I like to organize myself with my classroom, I normally like to spend the last 2.5 weeks of August getting myself organized for September. I'm going to be honest, the YouTube videos might be a little slower once I go back to work. I may not have as much time to be filmed, but I will do my best to definitely at least provide a weekly update, whether it's one of my Let's Explore videos, maybe a WIP'n chat, just giving you general life updates. But I'm going to be honest, I'm a pretty boring person. I don't tend to do a whole lot of crazy, although the next little bit, the next few weekends are pretty busy. I have like a couple family functions. See, this is really pretty, this gold fairy dust. Oh, oopsie, there you go. I don't know how well you can see, but yeah, love them. But yeah, so that's sort of where that's going. I do know in terms of upcoming videos, I do have 2 unboxings for sure that I need to film and I really want to share with you because I'm super excited about them. I did get my Diamond Art Club package. So for those of you that don't know, before I went on vacation, the one artist that I love their artwork is Miss Holly, and she had released a diamond painting called like Long Lost Coven. It's the one where like the witch is having like her tea and she's like talking to like the other witch through the crystal ball. And I live in an apartment building, so I was like, I don't know how this is going to go with me being away if it gets delivered. So in that order, I had ordered Long Lost Coven and Witchcraft Room, the Miss Buttered D one. So those I had shipped to my parents' house, so I need to pick those up, but I did want to maybe film an unboxing of those. I don't know, we will see. So I do have some videos to film. I'm still working on trying to get this painting done so that when it is time for some of the fall events, I will have the space to work on a fall kit. I still don't know what fall kit I want to work on. So that is still to be determined. I think on my Instagram, I'm going to have to do like a poll to say, hey, which one? Because part of me wants to work on one of the newer fall themed kits that I have. But then the other part of me is like, I really should be working on some of the kits that I had got last year during the fall season that I haven't done yet, because I'm starting to feel that my diamond painting stash is getting a little too big and I really need to start working through what I have. So I don't know, I've got some thoughts on that. Maybe I'll save those thoughts for the next WIP'n chat, because I need to reevaluate the plan of action of how I want to, sorry, I had to grab another tray, of how I want to sort of begin to tackle the stash. But yeah, so I'm trying to work through Year of the Dragon, finish this one because this is a big kit and it is taking up quite a bit of space because I really don't have a lot of crafting space on this desk. So I need this kit sort of out of the way, but I'm also enjoying it. So there's that. But anyway, that is what I'm up to. So if you made it to the end of this very long WIP'n chat, I think this might be my longest WIP'n chat to date. No, I lied. I'm looking at the time right now. I'm like, it's only been 35 minutes that I've been talking. This is pretty good. But if you made it to the end of this WIP'n chat, let me know if you have any like crazy, you know, vacation stories. If there's like what you're currently working on, if you're planning to do any of the fall events. There's so many events that happen in like the Burr months. I'm not gonna lie, the Burr months are my favorite. But if you're like, what are you working on? Are you planning to do any sort of fall events? And if you are, what events? What kits might you be working on? I want to know the details. Let me know. And of course, if you did make it to the end, why don't you leave me an emoji? Maybe, maybe a turtle emoji. I think they might have a turtle or a fish. One of those emojis. Yeah, a turtle or a fish if you made it to the end. That way I know you survived my rambling, my very long ramble. So I feel like I'm almost on this section. That's why I'm like rambling here, because I'm like, oh, did we finish? Yes, for those of you that don't know, this is how I place AB drills. It's a very, actually that wasn't that bad, because normally, where was it? At the top of this kit, I have like wax everywhere. At the top of this kit, the lanterns were just pretty much all AB to show like the glow. They look really good, but oh my goodness, it took me forever to get through that. Forever. But anyway. Okay, so let me just put all this stuff off to the side. Ooh. So look at that. See, this is what I'm talking about. I think I'm done, and then I'm not done, and then I find the drills. Oh yeah, I feel like I have enough drills that have flown everywhere that I could probably create a full-on painting by now. Anyway, all right, so this is the section. Not a whole lot happening right now, but this is part of our dragon. So I imagine into here I'll get into more of the dragon, but we're just slowly filling in background here. So if you enjoyed today's video, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. Your support does mean the world to me. Of course, if you want more diamond painting updates, you can find me on Instagram at ShineBrightDiamonds2023. On my Instagram is where I post regularly updates. I'll show you works in progress, any sort of purchases I end up making. But yeah, until next time, happy diamond painting. Bye, everyone.